Message for Alaska first responders on this anniversary of 9/11. If you are having a tough time dealing with stress, get some help. For some, that means traveling to the lower 48, which can be expensive and tough leaving family members behind. But help is now just across the state or across town. The Chris Kyle Patriots Hospital opened in 2015 in Anchorage. It so far has treated around 500 service members and veterans with issues such as addiction and PTSD. But Tuesday, the facility announced it's opening up to others.
It is with great honor today to announce that we will be extending our services to first responders.
First responders such as police officers and firefighters from anywhere in Alaska.
Next level of care was really not available in Anchorage.
The Anchorage Police Chief and Fire Chief gathered with others and said, thank you.
This is so valuable. I hope that you will understand that. And from my heart, because this is my family, I say thank you very much.
Thank you, because this type of specialized help is hard to come by in Alaska when first responders deal with trauma day in and day out.
This is overwhelming to me.
Something retired APD Fire Chief Craig Goodrich remembers clearly from years ago when a couple of paramedics kept dealing with the deaths of babies.
And that voice on the other end that I recognized said, Chief, I'm transporting this SIDS to Regional Hospital, but I want you to pick me up because I quit. I went over, both paramedics quit.
Other first responders took a different way out. Both APD and AFD's chiefs say both organizations have lost people to suicide.
We've had a couple of situations where we've lost people. And that hurt me personally. Obviously, it's something I still carry with me, and we could do more.
Running to the line of substance abuse, mainly alcohol.
AFD Captain John Paff knows the stresses of the job. The retired Air Force pararescueman and longtime Anchorage firefighter did what many firefighters may be afraid to do, ask for help, and got it. He's glad Chris Kyle is now here for other first responders who struggled like he did.
I probably would have continued on with the substance abuse to the point of probably self-destruction or harming somebody else, or, maybe even suicide.
The effort by a lot of people to stop that is now underway. Now, here's some contact information if you want to get in touch with the Chris Kyle Patriots Hospital here in Anchorage. There are 2 phone numbers and an email. Now, just a short story on how first responders became included in this. Diane Peterson with the Alaska Police and Fire Chaplains had a lengthy discussion with a first responder from out of state. He was traveling through Anchorage on his way to get mental health treatment. That person was suicidal. Now, after that incident, Diane talked to Elke with Chris Kyle and said something has to be done in Alaska to help Alaska first responders. And that is how we got to today. Talk put into action. Diane Peterson will join us live in just a bit with more resources for first responders who may need some help. A little while ago, we told you about Chaplain Diane Peterson, who is key working with Chris Kyle Hospital to include first responders. She is at the Fallen Firefighter Memorial in Anchorage. Diane, thank you for joining us tonight. First of all, I just want to ask you, why was this so important for you to get help for first responders?
Because here locally, we don't have a lot of resources for our first responders, and they can never unsee the things they see on scenes. And when they have the courage to say, I need to help processing what I've seen and what we're doing, we want to be able to have the resources immediately and not have to send them to the lower 48 for assistance.
And if you are a first responder and you're watching this right now, there is more help for you. So Diane, we are putting up a screen with some information, including some phone numbers of resources for Alaska first responders, starting with a peer group support effort. So what can callers expect, Diane, if they call one of these numbers?
Well, if they call the Chris Kyle Center, they'll have some resources there from Chris Kyle. If they're a first responder with the fire department, they can call the Alaska Peer Support Fire, and a peer member of the fire department will be the one that answers the phone and talk with them and see what resources they need. There's also a FirstNet number for like law enforcement. When you have that courage to say, I need some help, we want to have the resources and tools to help them.
These are places that are confidential as well, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and we don't hear a lot about first responders getting help. How big of a problem is this?
Well, actually, for the fire service, there are more firefighters and fire service people that die by suicide than in line of duty death. And it's something that we don't always necessarily talk about, but we're changing the culture and saying it's okay not to be okay. But it's not okay to say that you're going to do this by yourself. So we want the resources there so nobody has to go through this alone.
And that was something we heard today, is it may not be easy for people to come forward, but that's really what you want to encourage people to do.
Absolutely. And as chaplains, we're out in the field with them, so we're that first line of resource, and we'll help them as much as we can, but we want to have the resources so when we refer them out, that we can help them extend their career and to be mentally healthy and fresh.
And Diane, I know this came out today about the services for first responders. How are you getting the word out about it to everyone around Alaska?
Well, so it was just announced today. Chris Kyle is putting some stuff out. Our peer support is putting it out. Chief Hetrick just spoke here a few minutes ago at the ceremony that we're doing and talking about it. And basically, in our academies, we're just addressing it and talking about it, that there is help. When you have those bad calls, when you see something that you just don't see on a normal day and it stacks up, let's process that and stay healthy so that we can continue to serve the communities, because we need our responders out there and they need to be mentally healthy.
Okay, just pick up the phone. Diane, I'm sure there are a lot of people out there who are thanking you for your efforts in working with the Chris Kyle Patriots Hospital. The chief expects this to save lives, so thanks for your efforts in talking with us tonight.
Thank you, Joe.
Okay.